Welcome everyone to the Board of Education meeting for Community Consolidated School District 46. It's Wednesday, June 18th. We are at Frederick School in Grays Lake, and I would like a call to order and a roll call, please.
Mack, absent. Braden,
Here.
Nash, absent. Halverson,
Here.
Hune,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Weedman, absent.
All right, that gives us a quorum. You can join me in for the pledge, please.
Sorry about that. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sorry about that.
All right. Can I get a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda, please?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Miller,
Aye.
Halverson,
Aye.
Braden,
Aye.
and Hune.
Aye. All right, that brings us to public comment. Do we have any public comment? Jose, sorry, I know we had you move and then, okay, thanks. Thank you. All right, next on our agenda is a presentation about the Park Campus Outdoor Classroom.
Hello. So before we actually talk about the outdoor classroom, I do want to introduce you to Annabelle because this was her amazing idea to make this project come alive. So in spring of 2024, when Annabelle was an 8th grader at Park, she asked if she can work on our Park outdoor classroom. She had an idea that she wanted to do for her Girl Scouts project. And I was like, sure. Let's see, let's talk about all the amazingness you want to do. But before I tell you about that classroom, I do think that it's very important to talk about Annabelle and who she is, because it really talks about her dedication, her experience, and also her matureness. So Annabelle has been a Girl Scout for 9 years, is that correct? So 9 years. She also does numerous sports. She plays instruments. I know you told me you played the clarinet, and she started playing at Park, which is great for her to continue that. And she really does take the time to do a lot of volunteering with her mom. I know she spends a lot of time with her mom to, give back to the community, and that just speaks to the wonderful work that she has done. And even though she does a lot of these extracurriculars, doing this project took a little bit longer than she expected, right? Just a little. But more recently, this spring, her and her mom reached out and said, hey, we want to finalize this project. And I was like, great, let's talk about it. They came, she told me the great ideas, and then I just went ahead and I called Jose. And kudos to Jose and his O&M crew, because they took that idea and they just made it happen super quick. So with no further ado, I will go ahead and pass it to Annabelle so she can tell you about this amazing project.
Hi, so as you know, my name is Annabelle Appel, and I was part of the Park Campus class of 2024. As a kid, I always aspired to be a leader and role model to many. While these aspirations may have held me back in some situations, I now realize that it is my time to shine. This past year has been amazing, getting the opportunity to work with the staff at Park Campus, most importantly, Mr. Malamed and Ms. Morales, who have really stepped up and helped me turn my project into a reality. You may not know, but this past year I've been working on a project called a Silver Award, which is the second highest award to earn in Girl Scouts. As a part of this project, I was required to make sure it involves me taking leadership, having a root cause, is sustainable, large scale, and affects a community. So to fit these requirements, I came up with my project of restoring the amazing outdoor classroom. By doing this, my hope was to revive an area where I loved to learn when I was in elementary school at Park as well. Over the last year in creation of this project, I was able to create a large welcome sign to draw in new people and make the area more appealing, which was 6 feet long, and we got the wood from local woodcutters in the area, I think. Along with 4 stumps that I burned the Park Campus logos on the side of to have as like chairs. That's one of the examples. And then 2 rock gardens, which you could put like uplifting messages on rocks and stuff. Next one. And we actually got the planters off of Facebook Marketplace, and we restored them and added legs so they're taller. And then in addition, I led an intramural club in which the kids were taught how to make sit-upons, which are like outdoor cushions made of recycled and everyday materials. And we made over 80, so the kids were also able to take one home each as well. And we also included smaller projects and painted rocks for the rock garden, which were also donated to the school. And then, as a part of my project, I always include an inspirational quote that can connect to the overall goal. This year, my quote was from Henry David Thoreau, saying, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life you have imagined." This quote has really encouraged me to keep going through all my years of Girl Scouts and really helped shape me to be the person I am today and what I have become, which is also on the plaque, on the sign has a plaque. This project has really helped me learn many new skills, including being involved in leadership opportunities throughout the community and helping to leave a positive impact on a place where I spent almost 9 years of my life. I wanted to thank all of Park Campus's custodial staff, Mr. Malamed, Ms. Morales, and Dr. Lynn Glickman for allowing my project to come to life. Also, thank you to the board for allowing me to share my amazing accomplishment.
Any questions for Annabelle?
I do. I am so excited to see this project. Thank you for sharing it and sharing your process. I do have a question, just out of curiosity. Were there things, how did you decide on what you wanted to do? The stumps, the rock garden, the raised beds? Like, what was your decision-making process?
Just overall, I was kind of looking for things that could kind of brighten up the area, because at Park, there was an outdoor classroom there, and it was kind of not very high quality, I guess you could say. It was there, but no one really used it. So I was trying to find other things around the school that people have done. There was other rock gardens people created, which gave me that idea. And then my mom actually came up with the sign idea just to kind of make it more appealing and people actually know what it is. Because half of my friends, even though we were in the same place for 9 years, half of them did not know it was there. So it was just kind of one of those things of just finding smaller ideas and activities and just kind of putting it all together as a passion, I guess.
I had a comment, not a question, and just congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you mentioned at the beginning that leadership was something that you were aspiring to, and to begin a project, and then after you've left the school to come back shows true leadership. I was at Park and saw that just a few weeks ago, and I did not know that it was your work, that you were fulfilling something you had started last year. And we were just so impressed. It was very inviting. The stumps were very purposeful to create that outdoor space, but then, make it comfortable for people to learn there. And so I'd like just to say thank you for the follow through on that. It really shows just a great leadership, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, after you. No, after you. So, Annabelle, we have been throughout our school district trying so hard to come up with ways to enhance our outdoor spaces. So, thank you so much for bringing this to us and for your efforts. Thank you very much, Mrs. Morales, for your efforts in this area as well. This is going to make a huge difference for our students and our staff. And before I hand this back over to Mrs. Braden, I also wanted to make a comment about public speaking for a moment, which is this. You're laughing. I don't know if you know what I'm going to say. You're a wonderful public speaker. That's very clear. Specifically, though, you did something that people rarely do, which is have a presentation going, have your own piece that you're going to be talking about where you're not just reading from the slides. And all the advice that we ever get about public speaking is to do exactly what you just did, and we don't always do that very well. So thank you for modeling that for us, because that was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I was surprised that Ms. Miller didn't mention this, so I'll throw it in, which is the sustainability elements of what you did were really great. And I think, as we're always looking for ways to be more sustainable and to model how we can, I know there's 5 R's now, but I can only remember 3 because of my age. Yeah, but what a great example of building this in a sustainable way and reusing materials. That's fantastic. And yeah, I'll echo what Ms. Yoon said as well, which is this is great leadership and great community and civic service. And I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.
Keep us posted.
Definitely will.
All right, next on the agenda is board reports, and I'll start to my right. Board reports, Ms. Heenan?
I do not have anything.
Great. I just have one, which is we had a great, as usual, Pride Parade on June, it feels like a month ago, 8th. Beautiful day, bigger crowd than ever, great turnout from our district D46 community. So for everyone who both were donated their creative endeavors to making us look amazing, and I'm speaking to our resident artist and sign maker and button maker, to staff who came on a Sunday to Grays Lake to be with us. It was very moving. There were some very moving moments as students saw staff and realized they had allies. It's really, really powerful. So thanks for everybody who came out to that.
I do not have any. I have no report.
All right.
I
Oh, I think Dr. Glickman is. Yeah, that was my guess. And now it's next, the superintendent report.
Sounds good. And I will talk about Juneteenth. That sounds like a good plan. Tomorrow is Juneteenth. That means all of our offices are closed tomorrow in observance of this holiday. And there will be a wonderful celebration and event and learning walk tomorrow. You can go right to the Grays Lake Public Library at 5 o'clock. It's a short walk. It ends at the Heritage Center. There'll be learning along the way. I'm excited to be one of the sign readers, and we'll be there helping spread information about this important holiday. There will be food and music at the end, and it should be a really great time. So come on out. I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Lorenzo to talk about our summer school programs.
Good evening, thank you. I'm just sharing that as of June 9th, am I too loud? We started out our summer programming, which included Bridges, Adelante, and our ESY programming, which is extended school year for students with IEP services. And we had excitement all around. We had district personnel and administrative leaders come over to get us kicked off on day one. And students were excited to be there even those days after departing from the school year. And we ran into very little to no problems. Everything's been great, and we're really excited for the programming going on over at Park School this summer.
Thank you, Heather. I was able to get there, I think it was Monday, And it's really nice to have all of the programs under one roof this year, and just lots of really positive energy. So thank you for that. And then I just wanted to talk for a moment about the fact that it's summer, and yes, maybe there's a little bit more of a relaxed vibe, but also we're incredibly busy. And I shared with our cabinet that I would just tell this very quick story. You know, we as administrators, we often hear from people who aren't in our world, oh, what do you do in the summer? The kids aren't there. You must, just all be relaxing and taking long lunches. No. I know I started by saying it's more relaxed, but it's barely more relaxed. And in fact, I think it was at last week's cabinet meeting, and board remember, that's all the administrators that sit around this table, right? We started, as we always do, with what we call our whip around. Our whip around is we just literally whip around the table and everyone shares what they're working on that they think other people in cabinet really should know about, what might affect other people. And we try to limit it to 20 minutes. And as cabinet knows, I can be like really kind of strict about that. Like, let's go, it's gotta be, right? I've got people laughing. Last week's, that went for at least 45 minutes. And I didn't try to stop it because everybody was truly sharing this really important work that they were doing to get us up and running for the fall. So just wanted to make sure you know we are going to be off tomorrow for Juneteenth, it's true, but otherwise the work really is continuing here in School District 46 on behalf of our students. And that's the end of the superintendent's report.
Thanks, Dr. Glickman. With that, we will move to our consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda, including the personnel addendum that was shared with us this afternoon?
So moved?
I'll second.
Braden,
Aye.
Hune,
Aye.
Halverson,
Aye.
and Miller.
Aye.
Thank you. We'll now move to our action items. The first is a motion to approve the Forward Edge contract renewal. I'll move for that.
I'll second.
All right, any questions or discussion? No? All right.
Miller,
Aye.
Braden,
Aye.
Hune,
Aye.
and Halverson.
Aye.
All right. Passes. The next motion is to approve the revised board meeting calendar.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Hune,
Aye.
Braden,
Aye.
Halverson,
Aye.
and Miller.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. The next motion is a motion to approve the condensing unit and coil at Park Campus. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Halverson,
Aye.
Braden,
Aye.
Hune,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye. Twice.
Aye, aye.
I really approve of it.
We love our condensing units and coils here in District 46. Motion passes. All right, the last is a motion to approve the fiscal year 2025-26 tentative budget and publish a legal notice for the public hearing.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Great.
Braden,
Aye.
Halverson,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
and Hune.
Aye.
All right, thank you. That concludes our action items. We have no unfinished business to discuss tonight. We do have one new business topic, which is update on board policies. So I will hand that over to Dr. Glickman.
Thank you. At 5 o'clock tonight, the policy committee met and talked through the details of all of the revisions that have been recommended for these policies. All of these policies are either a 5-year review, I think there were 2 that were just 5-year reviews, or changes in law that we have to follow. So all of these are recommended for adoption. I will share, although it looks like a very long list, many of these come from 2 policy changes that affect other changes. The first one that I'm actually going to have Dr. Lorenzo talk about is Policy 7 255, which is a new proposed policy called Students Who Are Parents, Expectant Parents, or Victims of Domestic or Sexual Violence. So Dr. Lorenzo, if you can talk about that one, that would be helpful.
Yes, thank you. There is new law effective July 1st of 2025, so in 2 weeks, that is influencing the need for this policy. And it provides a lot of, it informs other policies to include elements around accommodations and supports for students who are categorized under being parents, expected parents, or victims of domestic or sexual violence. Additionally, identifying appropriate personnel for resources and access and support within each building, and reporting procedures related to harassment or bullying or other issues or alleged incidents of domestic or sexual violence. And I was just going to say that there are both personnel-related policies that are connected to that, as well as student-related policies.
Thank you. So that new law finds its way into a variety of the existing policies. And so many of the policy changes are related to that one. Thank you. And the other one is around Title IX. So board, I'm going to remind you that back in November 2024 and January of 2025, we updated our Title IX policies to reflect changes that had gone into effect by law in 2024. So we had new regulations. We had to update our policy, all of our policies that have to do with Title IX. At that time, however, we knew that it was likely that there would be more changes coming. In early 2025, a U.S. District Court struck down the 2024 Title IX sex discrimination regulations that had gone into effect the prior August. And so now all of those policies that we had just updated are being updated again. They're actually reverting back to what they were prior to November and January. So a big batch of policies just have some small name changes, all related to that change in law. Board, do you have any questions about any of these specific policies? Anything you want to talk through? Okay. Then we'll bring these back to you for voting at the next board meeting. Yeah? Okay.
Great. All right. The next item is topics for future agenda items, speaking of which.
Yeah. All right. So July 16th will be our next board meeting. Board, we do not need to have a 5 o'clock policy meeting that night. I think we got through all of our policies this evening, so no need for that. But we will be doing policy approvals. We will be doing a strategic plan update for you that evening. So we will talk about the work that we did in this past year, along with the work that we're planning for the 25-26 school year. We have our architect of record, Wold, coming in to do a media center update that night. And then we expect 2 approvals, the GFT contract approval, along with administrator compensation approval. So that's what we have for July 16th. The next one after that is on August 13th, which I want to remind you is also the first day of school. We have an early start this year. Why again do we have an early start this year? Because of construction in the summer of 26. I just keep reminding people that's why it's an early start. So we might be a little tired when we get to that board meeting, but we'll pull through. So August 13th, we have the first day of school. We are going to be having a presentation from Performance Services, doing a solar energy update. I think Mr. Wildman talked about that last time. And then the next meeting, September 3rd, we'll do some updates of our summer work. So we'll do summer facilities updates and a summer technology projects update. And that's as far as I have at this time. I would like to comment that unless somebody has a way that you wish to stretch out this meeting, it will be significantly shorter than that cabinet meeting whip-around was that I was talking about earlier. Okay.
Once a year, whether we need it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Assuming we have no additional public comment, and so at this time, I will ask for a motion for the board to move into closed session. This is when I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. In the big font. For the purposes of Act 5 ILCS 120/2C1, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Hune,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Halverson,
Aye.
and Braden.
Aye. All right. Thank you, everyone. And we do not expect to take action after our closed session, so we will be adjourning directly from the closed session this evening. Have a great evening.